Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are here for the playoff game between New Zealand and England. Whoever wins this, we do now find out that they are going to be going on to face South Africa in the 5th place playoff game. But I hope you guys are all doing well. I hope you're excited to see the Kiwis and the English in action. This may be Dan Norton's last game, which is going to be a bit of a shame as he has been such a figure in English rugby for so long in the seven side of things. New Zealand for the win, says Dusty, and also New Zealand go. Sees it Brandon there as well. But for New Zealand in this lineup, they have got Kitione Vai. Then it will be Brady Rush, Trail Huas, Dylan Collier, Kurt Baker, Leroy Carter, and Caleb Tangi Tau. Then for England, there's Max Clementson, Joe Browning, Jamie Adamson, Alex Davis, Callum Randall, Ed Colson, and Will Homan. Also the New Zealand flags in there as well from Katie. But the big thing is Dan Norton will actually be coming off the bench in this game. So I wonder whether or not it is a little bit of a passing the torch type thing. They've decided we'll give him a chance right at the end of the game so that he can really have that standing ovation from the crowds, depending on how the game is sitting. But off the bench for New Zealand, they've got Regan Ware, Tony Unshu, McGarvey Black, Rokoli Soa, some very good players there. And then Bavardra will be coming off the bench for England, which will be a special player to watch out for alongside the one of Dan Norton. And also, I just missed you as Moses Leo injured. I believe he might be actually, now that you say that. I think he had was it the knee or was it a head knock? I think it was one of the two, but it might have been actually in that last game that he did end up getting injured in. Oh, no, he's still there as the 13th man, so I don't believe he'll be able to play in this game, but he is still about in the squad. So I'm not too sure how serious that injury is for him. But England, they have one win that was up against Kenya. They did lose their quarterfinal matchup, 40 points to 17. Up against Argentina. But now New Zealand, they had 3 wins in their group stage, including an impressive win over Samoa, but then up against Australia. Australia able to win that game 19 points to 12 to get themselves through to that semi-final to be taken on Argentina. But now this game about to get underway between these two sides. It looks like there's a lot of smiles on the faces at the moment. Alex Davis, he looked very happy, and he will be hoping that England can get themselves a monumental victory over the Kiwis. And the Kiwis are the walking wounded. They didn't want to lose that game. And also they missed him against the Aussies. And those Aussies doing him perfect. So maybe he did get some sort of injury last night. Actually, now that I think about it, he might have been the player who got taken off the field for limping in that last game up against Samoa. I want to say it was early on. That's going to be the penalty to England in this one now. So a good start to the match. Dylan Collier, the man who is penalised, he said it is something that wasn't too, I guess, not able to be repeated on a PG live stream. He wasn't happy, to say the least. But currently now it is going to be the scrum here for England. So they've decided that they do want to use maybe that scrum, lure in some of the New Zealand players, and then fire it out the back line to some of their quick wingers that they have got for themselves. Now Homer is that back across. It's going to be a good run forward here, but a great low tackle from it was Brady Rush, who was a second-generation star for New Zealand. His father did play. Now Huas passing it back across to Vai. Kurt Baker trying to get a little bit of space. Oh, he's been dragged down and dropped on his face. That's going to be the penalty, and it is called as a high tackle for that one. Now it is going to be going across to Collier. Now Leroy Carter does play for, I believe, Bay of Plenty in the Bunnings EPC, but I could be wrong there because I think I was thinking of a different Leroy Carter. Now Tangi Tau with a good run. Passing it off across to Leroy Carter, a couple of young debutees in this competition working together. Now another nice run forward from Vai, another man who was added into the 7th side. Face flat on the mat there for him. Now past across, looks like New Zealand just taking a slight moment to try and work out how to get through. Trail Haas, ball on the inside. Caleb Tangi Tau, Pinsey is back. Offload on the inside, and it is going to be Leroy Carter who scores it between the posts. Okay, it's time for Rugby Confessions. I don't like these pyro machines. All they do is gunk up the ear with oil and smoke, and everyone coughs like General Grievous for 20 minutes. I think they're a waste. As well, says Katie. Yeah, it's like I saw one that was really bad at Suncorp Stadium. How they did like the fireworks right next to the pitch, and they had to wait for like a good couple minutes for the smoke to clear, which I feel like is like, it's probably, if it's done well, it's good, because they kind of work out the management side of things. But as soon as there's a little bit of wind or something, everyone goes, oh, hang on, where was that going to go? I forgot about the smoke side of things. It's like lighting a bonfire when there's like a blowing wind and then going, oh, that wind's going towards the house. Why is that happening? Kurt Baker ready to kick this one off. New Zealand leading 7-0 now up against the English. Kicking it long. It's a good kick from Kurt Baker that time. He did get it right in behind the defence of the English. Now Kurt Baker, he has had a couple questionable kicks throughout the game, or throughout the series, in fact, in Vancouver. And I was like, yeah, and this bloke gets so bad, they have to wait for it to clear before they can play in there. As I said, Katie Dixon, yes, so that side of it's not very strategic, I guess you could say. Because, yeah, like, it's hard enough running around as it is, but then running around while you're trying to, like, not choke on smoke is another thing. Kurt Baker did end up getting a little bit of something on that, and now it will be England's line out. Kurt Baker, he is a back for this game. He is in the New Zealand side. They are sitting 15th at the moment, and they won't get a huge amount of points for this one, but if they win this game, they will go on to face South Africa, which will be an absolutely outstanding game. Now passing it back across once again, New Zealand. Wide cut out pass in the hands of the winger, Caleb Tangitau, and he does end up going over. Let's go, New Zealand. I am eating my breakfast. This is Brandon. What is for breakfast, mate? Is it an up and go? Do let me know. It was just a little bit of a mistake from Jamie Adamson, not able to take it cleanly. Collier pounced on the opportunity, and then Tangitau out on the wing receives the wide slung out pass from, it was Brady Rush, and I can imagine how much money rugby could save all over the planet. They were just like, yeah, those damn pyro machines are history. And there says Katie. Caleb Tangitau, he has certainly been scoring a lot of tries in this Vancouver Sevens and since making his way into the New Zealand side. Striking it, goes just away to the right-hand side for the drop kick attempt. So New Zealand will still remain at 12-0 in this game. But I feel like South Africa versus New Zealand could be considered as big as a final, really. Two sides. A lot of people thought that was going to be a final. But once again, they go long. And England just haven't got their one mark. Good kick from Kurt Baker. So 10 metres out from the line. England only 5 metres, or in fact, 10 metres out from their own line here after the kickoff. Just not where you want to be. Definitely not after the last mistake that they did make. Now going over the top, that one has worked out for them. And it will be wrestled down, and also the New Zealand flags from Katie Dixon. Now going across here. England 2 minutes of work in this first half. Nice step on the inside from, I believe it was Jamie Adamson. It's going to be another penalty to New Zealand too early. But it's like England lost its mojo, in addition to Norton hanging his boots up after the tournament. And yeah, he's going to hopefully get a chance in the later stages of this game to get one last run, because whoever loses this game, they have no more games. Brady Rush gets a wide cutout pass. That seems to be the bread and butter of New Zealand. Now, the thing is, South Africa used that same tactic up against France. So if both sides are going for the wide cutout passes, I would like to think that someone like a Selvin Davids, someone along those lines, would be able to go and grab themselves that ball. But Brady Rush does get that pass. I feel like he deserved the try, because at the end of the day, he set up the last one. Wide pass from Kurt Baker. And if the trend continues, Baker will be the next man to score. And it's more weird rugby. And there's Katie Dixon. I mean, we could ask if they want to change their name World Rugby, but I don't think they'll be too keen. They might end up giving us a copyright strike, probably, to be honest. We'd have to do it incognito or anonymously at the moment. Now, nicely done from New Zealand, now sitting 17-0 up against England. This is going to be a very similar scoreline, possibly, to South Africa versus France. And some ruggers were out here using the Ouija board, or what's it? Ouija board? Ouija, isn't it? If I'm not wrong. And also, they should have been warming their hammies. And there's Katie Dixon. That one's gone out on the full from New Zealand. So Kurt Baker got it right twice, and then the third time it did end up going downhill for him, unfortunately. But sometimes that does happen, doesn't it? Now getting ready to go for this one. It will be Will Homo will be feeding in this ball once again for the English. The next game that has taken place tonight, it will be the matchup, or this morning, sorry. Normally, I do live streams at night, so I get confused. But the next one that is going to be taking place will be Samoa versus Fiji. That's a good game, and that will be coming up very soon. Now, step from England trying to drive him sideways. It was Ed Coulson getting wrestled down to the ground. Homer once again has to play halfback. Pass out wide for England. Looks like they are going to get themselves just a little bit of space here for Joe Browning. He is wrestled down by Collier, though, and a good tackle made. Now, it hasn't gone to the hands. Will Homer has to pick it up and has to regather now. The wide cutout pass. Everyone's using it at the moment. Must be because of the conditions because you got this roof on the stadium. You can just kind of go for it. Geez, that was a hard shot from Kurt Bacon. Come on, New Zealand in there. There's Brandon also. New Zealand flags from Katie Dixon. It's another loose ball. Get the honour by. Able to stop them from making too many more meters here for England, but they still are inside of their 22. They need a way through, and it doesn't seem like New Zealand are going to be giving them that option. Now the ball goes wide. It's a one-on-one between Ed Coulson, and he has been wrestled down to the ground by Caleb Tangitau, who makes another tackle there for New Zealand. He's come from the back, and he has managed to get himself the penalty. Alex Davis, he was trying to get out of there. He ended up with Caleb Tangitau all over him, trying to get him maybe yellow card. Kitione Va gives the ball off once again. I believe that's going to be the number 4, Traus. Press it down, or Trail House, I should say. And now a nice step in from Dylan Collier. Really one of the larger individuals in the New Zealand side. But now Kurt Baker. He scores the try. I mentioned about it last time. Whoever assists then scores the try. Kurt Baker gets that one. And it's worked out. He doesn't score too many, Kurt Baker. 2 for the Vancouver side on Vancouver Sevens. But that is going to be halftime now. New Zealand take a 24-0 lead over England going into the second half. But a good job from Kurt Baker. He goes in, scores the try. He doesn't have any strapping on his arms. Tough individual, that man, but that one has gone over now. And it will make the score 24-0. And also the tries from Katie Dixon there. I feel like that emoji is so perfect for sevens because you know you're going to get at least like 5 tries in a game. Whereas in a game of union, sometimes you don't get yourself any. Or hopefully at least one, though. One bare minimum. If you're going for like an average game of union, hopefully about 3 or 4. But currently, Fiji versus Samoa. It will be starting in approximately 12.5 minutes and should be an absolutely outstanding game at the moment. They are showing that man at number 8, who is Va'a Apilo Maliko. He has been phenomenal for Samoa in recent time. And they have got the big flying Fijians as their opposition. That's going to be a tough game, but it's going to be a good one. And we will be covering it on the channel in a very short moment. So if you are new to the channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, as we are going to be covering that game straight after this one, followed by Australia versus Argentina, where we will get to see exactly who will be making their way through to the final. And also can't wait for all the new shit emojis. And there says Katie Dixon. We might have to get a couple. Although one thing is, I think we've had to rearrange the sheet every single video so far. George, he likes perfection. And at the moment, it is one of those lights, you know, the little LED lights on either side. They just don't stay on for long enough. They end up kind of turning off eventually. And also, I seen similar vibes to the previous game. And even Samoa blitz in South Africa. And there it says Sammy Souza. But yeah, it just seems to be a very similar one to what we saw between South Africa and also South Africa and France, I should say. I mean, New Zealand. And there says Obi, and also we've got the quiz for you, Hamish. What is your favorite Rugby Sevens game today? Today, I would say favorite game was probably South Africa Samoa. Now, that sounds like I'm against South Africa, but it's just the hype of that game was huge, and it delivered straight away with a back-and-forth contest. Although France versus Fiji was also very good, with it sitting 24 points to 21. So one of those 2 games, and the best thing is those are my 2 favorite games. Now we get to see the 2 winners of those games go head-to-head. So it's certainly going to be Fiji-Samoa as my favorite game of the day. Although New Zealand-Australia for the Trans-Tasman connection was also a very nice one to watch, even though New Zealand did lose. Now, Adamson passes it across to Davis. I do not see a Dan Norton on the field yet. Now, it was a very flat pass off for England, but currently hanging on to this one just outside of their 22, Will Homer. There's one more. Adamson has put it down. Unfortunately, it's just a mistake, and it is a costly one there. He actually kicks that ball a little bit further down the field, but they will have the slow little play of going back and getting it. I think he tried to give him a pat on the back, one of the Kiwi guys, and completely missed him. Now Dan Norton making his way out there, like they're saying, ending his service to England if he does end up with a loss for England. I'm going to give him a clap now. I'm going to give him a clap after the game, though. He has got the most tries of all time. And gives him a comment on the live stream, New Zealand versus Australia. I have not yet. Pretty much straight after that live stream finished, I went straight into or actually setting up the next live streams and recording that video that I did Samoa versus Fiji as the preview, as I was too excited about the game not to talk about it in video form. Kurt Baker now passing it back across. It's going to be a Wide pass out to Caleb Tangitau. Almost slipping on himself. Oh, no, he's going to be banned. Oh, no, he's broken Dan Norton's tackle. And he had too much pace. And toss the GP in there. Says Akanisi. That is going to be Caleb Tangitau going through the tackle attempt of Dan Norton. Bit disrespectful in Dan Norton's final game. He just runs straight past him. He knows that he's going to outrun him. Dan Norton, even though he was chasing him, he had the smile. He'll be disappointed with the fact that he missed that tackle. But Caleb Tangitau is at the passing of the torch, possibly in that one. And also, Hamish, your mate says Danny Lewis doing pretty well. I was a bit tired earlier on because I had to wake up at 5 for this matchup, or for the very first match, I had to wake up at around 5 a.m. But not doing too bad now. George is going to be coming around a bit later on. It's a sunny day. Can't complain. How yourself? How about yourself is what I tried to say there, but I said it as one word. Caleb Tangitau kicks it off now. Oh, no, it's gone into touch. In fact, sorry, it was actually McGarvey Black and also English playing like a bunch of lettuce leaves. And as I says, Obi, so because of it, it does mean that we are going to get to see South Africa versus New Zealand, and that will be a very testing game for both of those sides. Time is off. Making some subs currently. 4 minutes left of this game. In fact, 4.5 minutes, I should say, a little bit longer. Still plenty of time for England to get themselves at least one try and get that man Dan Norton over the line, even if you make like a random rolling maul and just create the opportunity for him. I just really hope he scores in his final game for England. Homer, the ball, that's a brilliant hook from, I believe that was the number 4 for New Zealand. I want to say it was Hoasu was able to get in there and was able to turn it over, but currently New Zealand sitting 40 metres out from their own line. That's going to be another good attacking run. Going to be Collier on the outside. Now pop pass up to Caleb Tangitau. Does find the offload to Collier. And currently just going from right to left. They're going back and forth just like a sewing machine. But now Tony Nshu finding the offload down the wing. Gets the pop pass back on the inside. Homer trying to wrestle him. He's still going. Finds the ball on the inside. And Rocco Lesoa does score it. I was like, this is embarrassing, said Danny there. Just as I saw England bereft of ideas. That's a fancy word, isn't it? Also, yeah, good. Might go to the pub and drink my sorrows. What time do you go? Or did you go to bed? I think I went to sleep at about probably 9 p.m. yesterday. So I stayed up for 29 hours up, slept for about 8, got back up, ready to go for this one. I love how he stopped. And there, as I says, Katie Dixon, it was a good flick on the inside and Rockley side, just in case the chance was there to try and make it a nice, easy kick. And also, we have got the New Zealand and other 2 games is cold. And there's that one's gone away to the side. But Rockley Soa has currently been very busy throughout the Sevens. He's been a super sub for them. And well, at least they're spending quality time together. And there, as I says, Katie Dixon now going up. And it's taken very nicely by Dan Norton. And I must have slept like a baby. I did a little bit overall, just crashed pretty much. And then I woke up and then I was like, oh, time to go. But then I was very excited. As soon as I realized what games were coming up, I was like, right, this is going to be good. Like, this is going to be 100% worth it getting up this early. As a rain forecast for today. And this is Brandon. For myself, I know that it's not. But if it is for yourself, maybe it's going to be a wet Easter Monday. Currently now, going to be down the wing. Katione Vai's been able to take it back. And unfortunately for England, the day just seems to go from bad to worse. McGarvey Black just hanging on to it, trying to look for another opportunity. Does a couple quick steps. McGarvey Black really pumping the legs. Going to be getting out of the tackle by it was, I believe that was Bavardra. At the moment, New Zealand seem to just be waiting for full time. Like they're saying, 34-0. You don't really need to be in a hurry. You can hang on to it for as long as you want. Katione Vai. Now passing it off, Tony Nshu, bounce pass. They've said that that's gone forward. Are you doing an Easter egg hunt? We are indeed. So that will be after the FIFA recording. We were going to be doing FIFA yesterday, but George's console needed an update. That took about an hour. And then after that, his FIFA needed an update. So that took another while. And he was like, nah, we're filming tomorrow. All right, and I was like, is this the final? It is not. It is actually a playoff game to move on to 5th. Whoever wins this game goes on to face South Africa. So at this stage, with a minute and a half left, I'm guessing New Zealand might win. Just a guess. I hope that England score, though. Like, that's the thing. England, I want Dan Norton over the try line. Speaking of rain forecast, it's raining here in Fiji. There's Sammy Sosa there. Right, where is Dan Norton? It's in his hands now. Come on, Dan. No, he's going to be wrestled down by Regan Weir. I feel like as a Kiwi, I probably shouldn't be going for England as much as I am. Should I? That's a knock on, though. But they're going back for the offside penalty. Now, currently, trying to help him back up here. Is going to be getting to his feet, though. They're just waiting for this ball. They will be taking on the scrum. Get Dan Norton a try. Put it on a T-shirt. Get him his final try. He's already got 300 plus in his Sevens career. And also, did your mum organise the Easter egg hunt? She did not. It was my dad who did write out the riddles and whatnot on Rain in Northland. And there's Fiji aging again. Aging again? I think they're still quite young. Overall, they've got the likes of Jerry Tawai. But the next game for Fiji, they are going to be playing up against Samoa in only a couple minutes' time. So that will be a very exciting one. But currently 20 seconds left of this game. Homer's got it. Stepping straight sideways. Off to Dan Norton. Pin the ears back. Nah, his ankles are tied up. Unfortunately, once again. Now going around the side here for England, getting closer to the try line. Currently sitting 22 metres out. Will Homer is wrestled down. Waiting for it. Finally, the offload. It's out into the hands of Dan Norton. He steps. Keep going. No, he's wrestled down by Regan Ware. Still going to be available for England, though, here in the East Egg battle and raining here in the Bailey's Beach. And that's what it says, Ollie. Will Homer. Oh, he has to put it down. I was hoping he'd pass it up. Oh, that was a weird accent, wasn't it? But pass it up to Dan Norton, but he was still down. But that will be the end of this game. It's the Easter egg hunt in the whole town of Waimelia filming the Easter egg hunt. It is not in the whole town, just my backyard. And maybe inside, but we are going to be filming it. And come on, England, get a consolation. They did indeed get one. So now New Zealand, they will be taking on South Africa in the final, which should be, oh, sorry, not the final, the fifth place playoff. So that is a big game to have for fifth place. That is for sure. And nonetheless, I do thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Well done to Dan Norton for his illustrious career. But we will be back in a very short moment for Fiji.